Hi, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Devjani. I'm co-founder of Samadati Learning Solutions, and today I'm here to present the topic: the importance of positivity when working from home. So I'll just part session in three parts. I'll just introduce myself, talk a little about the topic, and then I'll start answering your questions. Um, as a certified positive psychology and in a journey of 24 years, I have always focused on mindset transformation. So when I co-founded Samuniti with my work partner Bhavani, who's again a CBT counselor, our whole focus was how skill enhancement get to better results because of mindset transformation. So our larger workshops are based on that. But I'll not go into the details because you can find my profile and Samunati's profile in our platform. So I'll quickly go to the topic of the day. That is the importance of positivity in work from home. But before I do that, I'll just define two elements here. Very important two words. One is positivity. What is positivity? It is simply a state where I am able to conduct my life, my activity in a smooth manner, where there is no negative emotion involved. Certainly, that does not mean that I'll have 100% of eradication of negative emotion, but as much as less, or I'm able to cope with the situation. So that's positivity, or that is positive condition, if I could say. And work from home is again another situation where all my responsibilities remain same. Only the work environment has changed. However, in recent COVID challenge, we have seen that is posing larger amount of challenge for all of us, and especially being in IT and telecom for so many years, which is again considered to be the platform for or an industry which is pioneered in work from home platform. It has always been found that the more you collaborate with your family members, your efficiency level increases. So all my responses will have these two components very clear, so that you can go and quickly use the tips and use my tips, in fact. So I'll take the first question here, which I got from Tanya, and I will also connect Hetal's question here. I'll just read out the question. So Tanya says that, hi, sometimes there's a lot of work, even if it is work from home. During this situation, I'm unable to balance work as well as my family. Stay positive during these times so as to balance them. Absolutely agree. Very difficult, anyways, to balance. I'll just add Hetal's question also, where she suggests that, hi, can you suggest some tips that will help me work with ease? Absolutely. The best part is these first two questions are very comprehensive in nature, and that actually talks about the complete work from home environment. So I'll just give you a quick one thing question to ask, that what happens if I ask you to eat a big elephant? What you would do is you will make, or you will cut that in different pieces. Same we're going to do with work from home. We will divide it in small parts so that we are efficient and more effective. Now, work from home comes out to be a very big part to us. Now, let's see how do we cut that in parts. So, we will cut it in three parts: one, two, three. Three parts. Okay, I'll keep this three here so that you remember. Three parts. One is my schedule, second is my partner's schedule, and third is my children's plan. If I'm able to plan this, chances are bright that I will be able to focus my work. In this question, I will take only my schedule because I have a lot of other questions where I'll be able to plan, share others' plan. Now let's look at my plan. Needless to say, I need to be self-disciplined. Uh, but first is I should have a very clear time in, time out plan where I start my work and end my work at that point of time. I must have an identified place of work. I must follow a list, to do list. which should not really have just a list of activities, but what kind of tasks they are, who all are involved, how much time it takes, so that I know how I am going to see my days now. That is going to be very crucial. I'll just come in the center of the screen so that everybody could see. Now, next is, what is my dressing? If that sounds very funny, but that has a larger role to play. Often, if I want to feel well, it is important I dress well. So, it's a great idea that you dress as if you're going to work, especially in the initial days, to set your mind for it. It's very important. It's a new environment, remember. And next major point is, please make sure you have breaks in between. Do not get into a prolonged working way that you start in the morning and you end at night 9 o'clock. There are no breaks, you're just stretching. That is just going to burn you, but that will not give you efficiency level. So it's a great idea to plan yourself, and never even think in your mind that, oh, it's work from home, then I can get up late, doesn't matter. No, it's not going to work like that. I'm working, doesn't matter where I'm working from. So this is a little plan which you can follow for yourself, which not only aligns your mind but also aligns your task. I said we will, break it in three parts. I've only answered one right now. I hope Hetal and Tanya got a little part of it, but as and when you go for more questions, you will get that I have been able to answer the question in full. So here in this stage, I will go to Sneha's question. Sneha has asked, "Hi, due to work pressure, I get irritated, and this leads to arguments on silly things with my husband. Is there any way from which I can control my irritation?" Absolutely agreed. Happens with everybody, probably happening a lot. But we just need to understand, where is this irritation coming from? Largely, it is coming from my workload. And I'm sure the arguments will be okay. If I say not sure, chances are bright that the arguments will be task related. Okay. So, as I said in my last answer, that we will plan not only ourselves, we will also have a plan for our partners. But we must make a plan with our partner, not for our partner. Okay. Which typically means is, point one, let's have an open dialogue with them. Now it's almost 1.5 month of lockdown, and we are expecting a little more. Have an open dialogue that you're getting overwhelmed with the workload, how it can be done. So let's make a plan of not only our professional but also of a personal distribution of activities. Now here from a point of view that in Indian scenario, largely our lady of the house decides the way things have to be done. We need to take step aside, and we need to give some amount of comfort level to our men who are probably not very comfortable doing, to give them some kind of flexibility, what kind of work they want to do. Sometimes you might be doing cleaning in the morning and he wants to do it in the afternoon. We'll have to give them that kind of flexibility. So let both of you sit together, and let him choose the kind of activities he wants to do in his own way. You could probably help, not compromising the hygiene factor at this point of time, but you'll have to give them some amount of flexibility. So that comes how we delegate. So we need to be very smart how we delegate the activity. And two things you need to avoid. How do I place this? Two things you need to avoid. One, micromanagement. We cannot instruct everything. So a part will come from them, a part we can contribute about how doing. And second is perfectionism. That I do it like this. This is the quality. This is the time it takes. This is how it needs to be done. Without compromising hygiene, I need to avoid these two things. Because when we do either of them, the interest level of the person will go down, and again, your irritation level will go high. So, if you're making mistakes, somehow you will have to absorb and probably, go back at a later time and get feedback. So, I think this is very important. And when I'm getting irritated, there are times I also need to check my tone. What is my tone when I am talking? I agree, 20 by 4 by 7 it is not possible, but there are times I need to check my tone as well. So These are quick things which will help you delegate. You can share your activities and the workload comes down, and I'm sure that will reduce your irritation. uh, and I will again, as I said, that each question will have one part of it, but on the whole, we all need to follow that, Sneha. So even the other questions are for you to focus. Now I'll go to the next question of Gauri, where she says, "Hi, even if I am at home, I'm unable to give time to my 7-year-old daughter. Because of this guilt, I can't even concentrate on my work. Many of the times, suggest some ways how to overcome these guilts." Uh, I got to see this condition again as a planning, and I'm sure by now you got two tips. I'm sure you're going to follow the first two. As I said, we need to divide in three parts. First is plan mine and plan my partners. Um, the third also comes how we're going to engage our children. But before I go here, I want to tell you that guilt comes when I'm not able to spend time, which I completely agree and understand. So I am just taking out time for you so that you do not have, guilt. So I'm just giving you time for yourself and to spend that with your daughter. So the best thing to do here is now, besides planning myself, planning my partners follow, we also need to engage our children very constructively, just about taking care of their school and studies. I would say that that's also important that we engage them in a more comprehensive manner. So here I want to put in that whenever you are dividing work with your partner, it's a good idea to identify a time frame where probably you can get up in the morning and start working early, and then he can finish late, and there could be a time in between where both of you are working. But this is how probably a two shift kind of format can be designed, so that we can spend more time, at least one person is there with our our children. And especially I see that will be relevant for all the people who have children aged from 1 to 10. They would need a little more support than our elder children. So that kind of a shift kind of work scenario will help both of you. Now, coming to our children's plan, daily chores should be done, as per your plan, and one person should be available. And this shift work helps you to be available with the children, one person at least, more and more time. Besides that, please encourage her to do a lot of hobby activities which makes her feel happy, rather than only school and this and eating and that. This is also a good time for you to identify what are the things which she likes doing, right? She can explore her choices. And in your small breaks, you can just come and appreciate her, and then let her move with that. Also connect them with their grandparents, so that when they call, probably grandparents can talk to them. That's also kind of engagement in case they are not staying with them. But one important thing which I like to add, which will overall help all of us while doing work from home, is when we empower them to do household activities. It might sound harsh to few people, but then yes, children are very good at activities. Whether it's about folding clothes or setting the table, they're very good at that. And if you actually help them as a reminders that after 10 minutes remind you for that, they are very good with that. Please involve them in those activities. What happens in this way? One, your connection with them will increase. Instead of our gadget, they will work as our live and energetic reminders, and they will be very excited to do the job. Children do better job than we do because they are completely focused. So that's how you can engage, and these activities will be your time of connect beyond, when you get out of work later on, you go off and then you sit 1 hour undividedly. You just eat late little time. Once, if you do not eat at 9 o'clock, it's okay. 9:15, 9:30 is okay. So that kind of time frame needs to be. Why I have shared individual plan for self, partner, and our children, because when they are contributing, our workload reduces. We are more connected, and if they do not feel that my I am not getting enough of parents, right? Yes, as I said, our self discipline will lead us, and a practice will only make us perfect, but all these things will be very helpful quickly. Um, so now I'll just move to Neeta's question. Neeta has said, I prefer work in office rather than at home, but because current situation, work from home is the only option. This shift in my preference feel uneasy. How should I tackle this? Okay, Neeta, I understand this is uneasy for a lot of us, especially who are not from that work from home format. For me, I have been doing it for so many years that I am comfortable. But again, it's a different zone. Now you have everybody at home. But it's all what we think, you know. And the best part is, Neeta, we think in words. So today, when I say that, I say, oh, I do not like work from home. Work from home is not my way of doing work. When I am phrasing words like this, chances are bright at this point of time, I'm going to face concern. So now let's change how I can change the thinking. So I also could think by saying, hey, you know what, work from home is giving me more time with my family. I don't need to travel for so many hours. I can have lunch with my family. Even in my small breaks, instead of hanging out with my colleagues, I am hanging out with my children and family members. So it's all how I think. But I will not disagree that changing thought pattern is difficult. As a coach, I understand that. So, in the quick and simplest way, what I would say is replace the thoughts. Rather, okay, I'll rephrase that. Replace your thought with more work from home focused self talk. So talk more in your mind, saying that, oh wow, I'm able to see my friend. Oh wow, see, I would have not been able to have lunch with my daughter, or children, if I would have not been doing work from home. And do not forget, it is going to increase your planning skills. It's going to increase your family's collaboration, family bonding. We cannot miss out on these things, right, Nita? So try, will take time, but again, practice. Okay, Gehna. Gehna says that, my office space is home, my work is from home. So everything is my home, and I'm also in my home now. But all this is being only at home situation is driving me insane. What are the ways I can keep myself sane? That's okay. We're not all turning insane, but yes, we are getting upset. But again, continuing from Neeta's point, I will say, I don't know why we are saying we are locked at home. I love to believe that we are staying with our family at home. Again, as I said in my previous context, Gauri, Gehenna, sorry, it is going to be how I think. And I agree and believe you that it is going to take time. It's going to take time, but it's not impossible. And end, I will share a quick thought at the end of my session, and that will help you to change and why you should change. It is overwhelming, I know, but just try to follow these things along with your thought pattern. That's why I said skill set and mindset. So these parts are, I'm happy that all of you have asked so variety of questions where I'm able to answer the skill set part and also the mindset part. That's something wonderful. So this is the mindset. I need to change my mindset as well. Now I am coming to Jigna's question. Jigna Patel, she asks that, hi, while working from home, I usually feel sleepy. How can I be attentive during my work? Agreed, absolutely. Especially second part of the day, Jigna. All of us, we tend to be little, sleepy. Agreed, absolutely. So don't worry. So now, for this, I have a beautiful 90-15 plan. 90 and 15. Okay, 90-15 plan. What happens in this 90-15 plan? I work from 90 minutes and I take a 15 minutes break. But that break should be a stretch break, yoga break, a family, a quick check with my children break, but that will not be about snacking break. It could also be a drink break. Absolutely. You can have a quick family drink, and please encourage your children to make it. They will be very excited and you can sit, enjoy those 15 minutes, not making the drink, but then enjoying the drink. So that will help you to get energized. Because when I sit there for without anything in the workplace, we have a lot of people around us. The whole area is very different. So now when I sit right on my chair for 2 hours, I can get dizzy. Right. So that's a way. Get up, do little stretch, chair yoga, stretch, involve your family members. Do that 15 minutes. Remind your children to, tell you that 15 minutes are over. Go back. Point one. These 90-15 rule is very important. Besides that, what I'm going to have in my, food calendar, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and definitely including a tea break. That should be the only time when I'm eating. I shouldn't be munching while I work. That's again puts me in a little lethargic, mindset. So that's something which I should avoid. Even something which I've noted is avoid less carbohydrate for lunch, if that's possible, right? So if I am having X number of rotis, it's a good idea to probably cut a half or make a smaller one, just to treat your mind that you're having the same number, but you're having a smaller one. Trust me, when I was doing dieting, I wanted to have three rotis. So what I did is like I make smaller. So my mind understands I have three and they're a little small. So those arrangements you can do. And besides this, it's a very good idea, which all of you I'm sure know. The first half of the day is more even more alert. To activities, work activities in a way that the first you do more, and the second half of the day you could do transactional activities. But right after your lunch, sit with your children, spend some active time, and talk to them, see what they've done, so that you come back and then you start work, instead of just about having a lunch and then quickly moving to the room and start doing. So avoid these things. So I'm sure that will make you a little alive. Drink more fluid is very good idea with it, but then snacking is not a good idea, right? So that's something, a little tip for all are people, all in fact, who are feeling sleepy, and that's okay. Now the next question I go to is Asta's question. Asta says, in this pandemic, can I get to know the ways I can grow my career? A very valid question, from the point of view that we have a lot of time. If we are able to manage, we have a lot of time. Trust me, I am getting a lot of time, though I am doing webinars almost every day, more than one is the standard thing, besides my any other work. Mm, First, let's redesign our profile, right? Wherever a lot of time that happens that we've not been able to see our go back to our profile. Now, look at your industry and do a little forecasting. We are all sitting in a, extraordinary situation where a lot of changes are coming and about to come. So we need to do a little forecasting, looking at our industry, and try to identify what kind of changes are going to come, right? Now those identified changes, then pick up the programs which you want to do. So what my whole idea of giving you these two things before saying just go and start doing program is, don't go and do any learning program. So if you're actually participating in any learning intervention, be very aware what you're going to do, right? Pick up. But one point I want to share with everybody, and I have been doing in all my webinar these days, that only skill set will not take us there. We will have to change our mindset as well. And this is high time. So if I could use the phrase from the famous book, Who Moved My Cheese, that, what do you do when you're not scared of failure? You just want to go and try new things. Okay, that's exactly the situation is. And new things demand a lot of realignment of our mindset along with our skill sets, right? So, little direction to what you could do, Asta, while redesigning your craft. At the same time, I'm always a believer that only work does not even make my work better. What I do otherwise beyond my work is also a part of my personality, and a lot of skills are added from there. So, if you have a hobby, please follow it strongly. This is the time. Uh, there are a lot of things you carry from there. I'll share mine that personally, besides being a facilitator and working on mindset, I always am an innovator at heart. I love doing a lot of things. So I've been redesigning furniture these days. that actually gets a lot of skills in me. How I need to strategize, how I need to plan, how I need to put things together, how I will fix this activity in my overall daily routine. That actually helps me, and in fact it has always helped me over the period of time, right? So that is something which you should do. I would not say which you could do, you should do. Now Rubina has asked the next question. Rubina says, hi, do I stay positive when social media and television is with negativity? Um, Before I answer this question, Rubina, I'll just like say that why should I be negative? What is the need for me to be negative, and how does that help, even if I want to? Okay, I'll give you something. Mm, Social media and television are two mediums which are under my control, and it is entirely up to me how much I invest time there. And even there, I have my choice of content. I could see whether I want to watch news or whether I want to watch Discovery. Channel is entirely my choice. What kind of groups I want to be in social media, what kind of post I want to like, and how I indulge myself entirely depends upon my choice, right? So I don't see how somebody can influence. I can get influence if I want to. So one part of reality is this. Uh, and how do I do it? Because that's a very important question. Because last week I did a digital dependency workshop where we were discussing that even too much of digital space at this point of time is causing problems. So strict rules that after 9:30 I will not use. So the time can be yours. So strict time zones, places at home where you will not use any digital, especially mobile, if I could say that at this point of time. Replace your mobile time and TV time with a lot of activities. I have another question where you will get a lot of activities which you could do. Replace those time, those sections, and automatically you would see that you are more focused, you are more positive. Uh, Investing time in negative and just going in that vicious circle is not going to give us any results. So it is a good idea for us to distract. So let's understand now the culture of nurture and starve. Let's nurture our positive habits and let's starve our negative habit. And this is a negative habit, right? So I'm sure you got some understanding of this. I move to the next question. This is Anvi's question, and Anvi says, hi. In fact, this is my last question of the day also. Anvi says, hi. What are some leisure activities during this time that will help me be positive, stay positive? Um, Tanvi, I just love this question. Even if you've not asked, trust me, I would have just come and answered that. But now, when you've asked, I can just cannot thank less. As a positive psychologist, trust me, I always struggle to pass this information that if I need to stay positive, it is important that I pick up those activities which makes me feel happy. Agreed, in a day plan every day it is difficult to involve those activities, but I will like to share that it's not impossible. It's difficult but not impossible to do that. So few of them what you could do. One is a long lost culture is to go and see your photo album. They're very interesting. So go back and check your photo albums. From there you can, you can see as a family session, family bonding session. You can sit after lunch and enjoy that, which also will indulge you in those stories, and will actually import you in that time. So that's a way you can also share your childhood stories with the children, or with your family members. That's fantastic. That's one thing which is very interesting. Have a tradition of story reading which I use, and which I have been doing for a very long time. I just love, so everybody picks up some short stories and you go. So that also creates a very nice environment and a great activity to do. um, from the positive point of view, mindful meditation is a very good one. And these days, you have different kinds of mindful meditation. One which anybody and everybody can do are mandala coloring. Those are just simple mandala coloring sheets which are available, and there are instructions how to do it. This is an individual activity and also a family activity. You can use it. That's also very interesting. Guided meditation in itself is very important. Um, Besides this, as I said, I love doing a lot of craft activity in a higher end also. As I said, redesigning of furniture. I have just redesigned a center table of my parents. I have done a lot of hangings and a lot of you know things which you can pick up few things from our YouTube videos and then do that. You can play games, simply have games, but my whole idea, again, I will like all of you to understand. Even when I was sharing, if you have realized, I have done two things. I said certain things which will make your mind happy, which will make you feel happy, and which will run, and your body will work. So keep those activities in mind, that one, I should physically be active, and another, I should be mentally. So I did not say that you go and exercise, because all these things. You can practice dance if you're a dancer, because I know there's too much of information. But these 10, a mix of physical and mental activities are very important. But I had promised that at the end I will give you one dose of positivity, which will help you to organize well. I'll ask you a simple question. These days, we are all extremely conscious about our physical health. The number of gyms and our work studios health studios have increased because we are conscious, and we understand that to stay fit, two things I need to do is exercise and the right intake of my calories. Correct. So, people, that includes everything. That says it all. So, we have understood, and we are all doing it. That is for our physical health. But largely, what we miss out is on our mental health. And we strangely feel that this will happen automatically. So, if I need to stay positive, I need to work hard for it. I'll have to work for it. I'll have to do exercise. So that burning calorie, what you're doing otherwise, will need here as well. You will have to practice certain activities, certain format, certain discipline, which will make you positive. It will not happen automatically. And to do that, I need to have a mindset to not only identify my area, am I getting very angry, am I getting very upset, which is that area, but also do activities so that I can, as I said, nurture positive habits, starve negative habits. I need to do that. And for practice, as we do exercise, I practice every day. I need to practice this every day, more than one. When I start doing exercise, I get very tired. That happens initially, right? But over a period of time, you love that pain and you love that tiredness. Same is going to happen here. Initially, you will find it difficult, you will fail, you will find it difficult even to try for the next time. But if you continue doing it, you will move from one condition to another, and that is present condition to a better condition, right? So, on this note of taking a little commitment from everybody, which you will continue doing it, uh, and you will redesign your positive state. Everybody will have their own positive state, and I'm sure you will get good results. I'll say goodbye and wish you that you all stay safe and healthy and very constructive. Thank you. Take loads of care.